dumbest damn thing you could ever buy in your life is a big, expensive luxury car.
What's the dumbest thing you ever spent money on?
I bought this NFT once for $4,000.
Dumb purchases cause inflation.
Interesting.
So Gucci's were 600. People kept buying them. Then they went to 650. People kept buying them. Then they went to 750. People kept buying them. That's what causes inflation, when people rush to buy a product.
What's up, financial hawks? It's your man Eric, and in today's video we're gonna be going over dumb purchases. Pretty sure if you're watching the channel, you're pretty sure you made dumb purchases in your life, probably something crazy you probably regret now. Well, let's go ahead and look at not only just regular people, but also some of the things that rich people have bought that has probably literally been garbage.
Things that billionaires ever bought. Dada Pooch owns the world's most expensive shirt, which is covered in pure gold. It weighs 9 pounds and it costs $213,000. It's probably not a good idea to go out with a shirt like this because it was stolen just a couple of weeks after he bought it. Now, the Sultan of Brunei gets the world's most expensive haircut every 3 weeks. His barber works in England, therefore he flies first class to Brunei. The flight ticket is paid by the Sultan, and on top of that, he pays him $24,000 for every haircut. Honestly, I probably could have just gave him this haircut for $24. Jocelyn is a billionaire who enjoys spending her money on improving her looks. She spent over $4 million on just plastic surgery. Now, a billionaire in Dubai spent $22 million to carve his name on his private island. The letters are actually so big that they can be seen from space. Now, this billionaire was offering $60 million to any man who could turn his lesbian daughter straight. After thousands of men failed to do so, he doubled the reward to $120 million.
All right, so not all of those were actually dumb. I think maybe 99% of them. But I want to say there was like one or two that I didn't think that were like so bad. So let's go over some of these real quick. The first one right here, he's been 213,000 on the chain, and it gets stolen 2 weeks later. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Hopefully, next time if he spends that much on jewelry, hopefully he has some type of security around him that can help him out so it don't get stolen, or just put it somewhere that you don't try to get stolen. I don't know exactly how it got stolen, so I guess maybe it could have been at his house and it got stolen. So yeah, it's crazy. This one is wild too, spending $24,000 on this haircut. Really, every 3 weeks, the guy gets some scissors and barely cutting anything for that. That's crazy. Now that, and then on top of that, getting the flight, you see he must see when you spend $24,000 for that, you really are just trying to find reasons or ways to spend your money, because there's millions of different things you could do with $24,000 instead of spending it on that type of haircut every week. That's crazy right there. On that type of haircut, maybe with some golden clippers, you getting like the best fade in the world. I may not say anything, but for that, come on, man. It's like, pay me. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and become a barber. That's what I'm going to do. And I want to be cutting hair for the rich, the billionaires. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be charging them $100,000 per haircut, custom made. Watch. You guys think I'm playing? Watch. It's going to be a new channel called Barber Hawks. That's what we're going to be doing. And then let's see this next one. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, surgery did not help her out at all. Made her look a whole lot older. This one I think was pretty cool. He's a billionaire. He just want to have his name. You can see in the space. Hey, I'm not even mad at him on that. I would go back and I have his last name right there too. It's still crazy. They cost $22 million just to have his name there. I get the people he hired to do that. I feel like low key. He could have went to a beach, gave everybody 100, everybody 200, and they all could just dig a little part, and they could have made this. But hey, I'm not even mad on that. I'm not even mad. You can see him in space. I'm not even mad on that. And this one wild too. I low key feel like if I was a daughter and my dad was not going to help me out financially, I guess after I get married or whatever, I would be like, hey, maybe I would try to trick him to get to 500 million or $1 billion or something, and then get married and then get divorced. Hopefully the person she's marrying, she letting them know the whole ordeal, so he can get a little cash, she can get a little cash, and they can dip out. That's what I would do. But that's crazy. Still crazy. He thought that giving the guys the money was going to change things. I don't know. Maybe if they go to America, I'm pretty sure if she went to America and the dad was offering all that, I'm pretty sure some type of American would put up on game, and both of them would have walked out happy. They would have, the game I'm giving right now, trying to trick the dad to give us more money. If she would have typed any American, I'm pretty sure that would have happened. But yeah, that's just me right there on that.
Possessed by the stupid purchase demon, and I bought a paddleboard. But then I was like, I'm not going to want to pump this by hand. So I bought an inflator. And then I bought a life vest. And then I bought 2 safety whistles. Ask me how many times I've been paddleboarding. Did you say none? Correct. If you want to avoid this, you have to remember the 3 spending commandments. 1, the 48-hour rule. Whatever you want, put it in your cart, but you can't get it just yet. You gotta wait 2 days. And in 2 days, if you don't remember to get it, let it go. 2, turn on push notifications for your credit card. That way you actually remember that you're spending money and not just swiping and it magically pays for itself. 3, think about opportunity cost and what you're giving up. Sure, skipping Starbucks isn't enough to buy me a house at the end of the year, but $5 a day is $1,825 at the end of the year, which is enough to buy me a nice new TV or take me on a nice vacation. If you spend with purpose, you won't end up with a paddleboard you've never used.
Man, that is actually great advice. This is something I wish I would have learned earlier. And it's funny because I would say maybe this year I kind of started doing that more. But years past, if I seen something on Amazon and I wanted it, I would usually just get it that day. And if it's one thing, usually it would be multiple things so that I can get the free, 1-day shipping. So yeah, I think this is great having the 48-hour rule, and not just for things on Amazon. I think a lot of purchases in general, if you can do that 48 hours, because you may think you want something, especially at nighttime, you may really be thinking you want something, but then that next day, it may change a lot. Same with food. If you're going to the store or ordering online when you're hungry, you are probably, you are more likely to actually want to spend more, want to, get more food. I think they did whole studies on this a while ago, that the best time for you to get food from the store, order food or whatnot, is when you're not hungry. Because again, when you're hungry, everything looks good, everything looks delicious. So you just want to put everything in the cart. And then you get back home and dang, I spent all this money and I really don't want to eat all this. Maybe some of this, but not all of this right now. So yeah, I think that's a great rule, 48-hour rule. I may have to make a whole video talking about that.
When I re-enlisted in the military, I got a 20 grand bonus and I couldn't even tell you what I did with it. You just blew 20 grand. I didn't even go to Europe or anything and do anything cool. I definitely just blew that money.
Your girlfriend just told you it was her birthday a few months in a row.
I didn't even have her then. I was by myself. I don't know what I did with it. I've definitely bought some dumb stuff, wasted a lot of money.
You gamble?
I mean, I do it in Vegas.
Most you've ever lost gambling?
I lost $100 to Will Ferrell in a craps game. Yeah, I used to work in the film industry and we were doing a movie called The House. That being said, that $100 belonged to the production company and
you're spending house money.
Spending house money.
Unintended.
Him and the producer and a couple other people were there and I did not know how to play the game and I just blew, just on.
What's the dumbest thing?
Well, you know what they say, fast money. Once you get that fast money, usually it goes by fast. $20,000, that's, man, you can do a lot with that. But yeah, being young, you probably wasn't even thinking about it like that. But man, if he would just put it in a bank account and not touched it for a week or 2 weeks, hopefully within those 2 weeks, he may, his mind may change and he may be like, you know what? It's been in here for 2 weeks. Maybe another 2 weeks would be good. And then, maybe another month would be good. And then, after he get done with the military, he still has that money stacking up, maybe investing into something. Shoot, I don't know how long ago it was for him to be in the military, but picture you going to the military right now and you putting 20K in Bitcoin, you coming out 4 years later, 8 years later, 12 years later. Picture how much money you will be making from that. But yeah, I think that's the norm. What, most people, when they get any type of, money out of nowhere, they usually spend it. It is what it is. I think he knows what he spent that money on, but I don't think he's trying to talk about it right now. But I think he would turn it up. I think he would throw in some money, some 304s. I think he would really turn it up. And I think maybe some drugs probably were part of this too. But I think he would definitely turn it up. And because the dude got the camera out, he's not telling the full truth. But I think he would turn it up. I think he would definitely. I know he knows what he did with that 20K. He's just trying to play it cool. Nah, I'm not exactly sure. He knows what he did with that 20K. That's a lot of money just to not just remember. Now, he definitely knows what he was doing with that.
Who makes around $100,000 a month. You guys could guess that I'm pretty fucking stupid with my money. So this is going to be 3 of my stupidest purchases. So first off, this is going to be my 2024 BMW M3 competition. Now, the purchase in itself was not all that stupid of a purchase, but what ended up happening was I got rear-ended 2 hours after I drove it off the lot, which resulted in $22,000 worth of damage and then over $30,000 in depreciated value of the car. But once I have this car back, I'm going to be able to make a lot of good content with this car, which I think will result in the car being a decent purchase. Next up, we're going to have my 2020 Lamborghini Urus. Now, realistically speaking, I think this car was actually a pretty decent purchase because of how much it's helped me with just social media content and overall personal brand. But the thing is if a 40-year-old man looks at me and realizes that I have this car, they're going to call it a bad financial decision. I guess it just totally depends on the way that you look at this purchase. Like when my dad found out that I bought this car, he was like, what the fuck? But for me, it makes sense. Now, final stupid purchase that I have is going to be this $30,000 Audemars Piguet. I absolutely love this watch and I don't regret buying it, but realistically, like, why the fuck do I need a $30,000 watch? Part of me looks at this and was like, $30,000, I could have done a lot of good with that money, like fucking donated some of it or fucking bought my mom a watch, but she's actually coming out here to visit this month. So I think I'm going to take her to Cartier and get her Santos because I think she likes those. And she doesn't have a nice watch. So I want to do something nice for her. But those are my 3 stupidest purchases, in my opinion. I've got some other pretty stupid ones. So let me know if y'all want a part 2.
Okay, this one ended up not being as bad as I originally thought it was going to be from like the intro. But let's go ahead and go with the second one he was talking about, like the car. I don't think that's, that car is nice. That car is a nice looking car. I don't think that's necessarily bad per se. Like, sure, you can buy other cars, but I mean, if you're balling, like having that car that matches isn't too bad, especially he's like a social media person as well. Having that for social media can help you out with that clout, which can gain you more followers, which can gain you more money. You also talked about the watch. Now, I'm not gonna lie, at least to me, that watch does not look that great, at least from this angle. However, again, having a nice looking watch can actually, I guess, put you in certain places or can allow you to network with certain people that just having like a regular watch can't. Again, if you're just a regular person, nah, you have to spend $30,000 on the watch. Yeah, that's crazy. But somebody, I guess, in his financial realm, it makes more sense. Sure, like you were talking about, he could spend more money or, use that to donate or I guess give a watch to his mom or whatnot. However, again, I don't know much about that watch at all. I don't know if it, keeps its value or it's like some of these watches that continue to grow. Because I have been looking at some people too who buy these watches and as a investment because year after year, it either remains or retains its value or it continues to go up. So, just buying, higher end watches may not actually be too bad. Again, depending on what type of watch it is, you definitely have to do some research on that to see which ones you should or shouldn't for that reason. But yeah, I don't think those are actually too terrible like I was originally thinking.
The one thing that you will never pay for again.
I know I've made a few purchases in my past where it was so stupid, and I'm paying it for it now in terms of credit card debt.
I'm doing a continuation, so welcome back to my worst stupid purchases of 2024. Once again, no one requested this, but I'm riding the high of getting 160,000 views on my last video, so we're going to pretend like people are knocking on my door to make this. Number 1 in this series is things I bought at consignment stores or resale stores. Not that I liked them, but just because they were like 70% off retail. There's this awesome consignment store by me that I love, and someone dropped off buying things from consignment stores simply because they're X amount off retail. Number 2, and I hope no one comes at my throat for saying this, Aloe leggings. Not their sweaters, not their sweatshirts, not their sports bras, their legging. I can't tell you how many times that I just loved their e-commerce or their social media apps because they were actually making me feel bad about myself. So number 2, Aloe, specifically their leggings. Number 3, bad quality sweaters, specifically sweaters that are like 100% acrylic or polyester or a mix of this Milk Cloud Glow primer. I don't know. It's awful. But I also just don't really like primers in general. So those are my second collection of dumb things I purchased or purchases that I regret this past year. And I'm sure I could probably think of like 20 more too. Girl love to shop, but I'm officially at a place where I really do love most things in my closet or in my vanity, besides the fact that I still have this Milk primer. I can leave you with anything. It's to look into these products or do your research a little bit more, look into composition and actually try out a product or look into reviews before you're purchasing.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of hers are mainly just clothes, I guess, clothes and makeup. But the first one that she talked about, the like the consignment store buying stuff because it was 70% off. That's something I see a ton with people buying stuff just because it's a reduction in price. Like, oh, 60% off, 50% off. It's like, yeah, if you were going to buy it already, then that's great because you actually are saving in something. If you were planning on already getting it, but if you weren't planning on getting XYZ item, but you see, oh wow, it's a 30% off. Now let me get it. You are losing money because you weren't not expecting to get it. I think a lot of people don't understand that. But yeah, if you were never planning on getting that thing, but now you see, oh, 30% off, let me get it. You are losing money. You are, I guess, wasting money versus you seeing something that you already plan on getting. Then that gets 20 or 30% off. Hey, and then in that case, that you are saving some money because you were already planning on getting it. Now, that like the rest of the stuff like clothes and whatnot, I think a lot of people probably fall into that as well. Probably bought, XYZ amount of clothes, and you find out that, hey, that certain, pair of jeans or certain shirt that I thought I was gonna like a lot end up not being that cool, that tight like I was planning on it. So yeah, I think those are more on the normal side compared to some of these people who are like already rich buying stuff. And yeah, I think that's something that again a lot of people can have empathy for. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Have you bought anything like crazy, or all the stuff that you regret buying? Is it more like clothes and small stuff like that? Definitely intrigued to see the differences, I guess, and thoughts on that, and I guess people's viewpoints. But anyways, too, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.